Hello, my beautiful feather tribe. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I am an empath as well as an intuitive tarot reader here on YouTube. It is my aim to provide you with messages that would be in your highest good and in the highest good of all, and that would help you to travel on your personal journey towards your highest good and in the highest vibration possible. Anyway, I am glad to have you. We are doing a reading about the hardest challenges that you are leaving behind. So in a sense, we are kind of looking at a more serious topic this time, but hopefully it is still going to come out the other side with a more uplifting and hopeful message, because that's what the intention of this reading is, to look at the things that you are now leaving behind, where, let's just call it, like, in the easiest way possible, the hardest thing is behind you, or you've come through the worst. More specifically, the reading is going to be in 3 parts. So the first part is going to be looking at your current situation and the biggest issues that you are dealing with right now. So that is going to help lay a foundation and a sort of groundwork for the whole theme of the reading. And also it will help you to decide whether you are actually watching the right pile or not. We will then move on to the second part of the reading, which will be looking specifically at the challenges, the 2 main challenges that you are leaving behind. And finally, we are going to look at the possibilities or the potential opportunities that will arise from you going through these challenges and leaving them behind. So we'll see sort of what's to come or what you can look forward to. And we'll also look at some final advice messages from Spirit, as always. But that is what we are doing here today. And now that we have cleared all of that up, let's move on to the piles. So we have 4 piles to choose from, starting from the left-hand side and moving towards the right. Pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, there aren't any gemstones or any trinkets or anything like that attached. Sometimes I just don't feel that they are necessary, and that's what I felt again for you today. So yeah, you just have to go off of your intuition, see which pile calls you in the most, which pile seems like it is yours, it is screaming your name, or it is just drawing your eye in some way. Maybe you hear a number, maybe you feel a certain nudge. It could really be anything. People's intuitions work in different ways, but once you know that that is your pile, go down into the description box or the comment section down below and you will be able to find a timestamp and jump straight to your reading. So yeah, I will leave you here to choose. You can pause the video if you need to take some more time. And whenever you're ready, I will see you in your reading. So happy choosing. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you are all doing relatively well and that you are excited for this reading, even though I do realize that we are, sorry, I can't get a hold of them. I do realize that we are looking at your current struggles and we are looking at what you can sort of say goodbye to very soon. So at least that's the more positive part, but I do realize it's still a rather serious theme today. But anyway, we are going to start off with part 1 of the reading, which, as I already described in the intro, but just in case you missed it, we are going to be looking at the current issues that you are dealing with. What are the biggest problems that you are currently facing? What's the energy that you are in right now? So let's see. Okay, we're starting off with toil and labor. And we also have family room. We have Sea Witch and Sleeping Beauty's Dream. We have Summer Solstice Radiance. Oh, we have another card that says the Dream, so put it here. And finally we have the World. Okay. I get a feeling looking at these cards that the biggest struggle that you're having with is actually with yourself at this time. And what I mean by that is, it seems that there is a lot of you and a lot of your sort of true potential, your true desire, your true love or true enthusiasm, the thing that really lights you up, that seems to be hidden in some way, that you may be afraid to show or reveal to people. And I do feel that there is actually so much more in you to discover, to explore, to express, especially with the Sea Witch here. That is like a really powerful card. At least that's what I'm feeling in your reading right now. I feel like you are like this Sea Witch here. You have so many naturally given gifts or skills or talents or just certain characteristics or traits that sort of make you special, or that make you shine, that make you stand out from the rest of the crowd, the things that make you specifically unique. But with the World card being here, like, usually the World card speaks of expansion, but the thing that I'm drawn to very, very specifically is this dark part of the world, the thing that the part that is in shadow. And that's what I feel like this World card is signifying here. That there is a whole world hidden inside of you that no one else gets to see. And it may even be that you yourself don't see in its entirety either. You haven't yet sort of experienced or discovered. Because again, I feel like you don't really have that much energy or space or possibly even like courage to see what you are truly capable of. And I don't mean to like call you out or make you feel bad about yourself or anything like that. But I do feel that you are keeping a lot to yourself, especially with this toil and labor and this family room being here. The family room is all about intimacy. It's all about secrets. It's all about sort of the hush hush, the things that are happening behind the scenes that, again, not everyone is privy to. This is a very, very exclusive information, or this space is specifically talking about exclusive information. And I feel like that exclusive information that you are not sharing with other people or possibly just the public, right? It could be that some more close people to you know these traits that you are sort of keeping to yourself, but not everyone knows. And this toil and labor, that's what I feel like you are hiding. Like the struggle or the like discontentment or disappointment or the thing that is missing. That's what I feel with this toil and labor card. I mean, it's obviously also indicative of the difficulty that it is, or that it takes to live in such a way, because I do feel that there is this part of you that really wants to be expressed, that those hidden parts of you want to be seen, especially with this Radiance card. I almost feel like they are like dying to pour out of you, right? To be seen, just like the sun. But I feel like you are fighting against that urge. Even if it's not like something you are doing consciously, then on a subconscious level, that's what I feel like you were doing. And even though I feel like you are like at times so mad at yourself, so angry and so disappointed in yourself that you are having such a hard time letting other people see these traits in you or expressing yourself fully, that you are holding yourself back, either in order to fit in or in order to fulfill someone's expectations of you, or to make someone else proud of you. Or maybe even it's just because you are afraid that you are not going to succeed if you were to follow your passions in their entirety, or if you were to express yourself in your full colors. Maybe you're afraid of what that will cost you, or what that will mean, how it will impact your current reality. even if your current reality is not all that you would like it to be, it's a half dream. That's what I feel with this world. It's like you can live in it, but there's something missing. And so even though you are at times so mad at yourself for not putting yourself out there and overcoming those fears, you're still holding it back. And there is something that is incomplete, because I'm looking at both of these cards here. We have the dream as the center card, and we have Sleeping Beauty's dream over here. And I feel like this dream, what this is talking about is a life where you can sort of be exactly as you are, to live out your heart's fullest, deepest desires and wishes and dreams. But with Sleeping Beauty's dream, you're not really taking any action or putting in the steps, because that battle that you are going through, I feel like it is all happening in your head. It's almost like there is this tangle of thoughts in your mind that you are trying to sort of overcome and trying to step over. Like it feels like whenever you start to work your way through these hesitations and these fears and like come up with a plan to actually get yourself out of this situation, or to actually do something that would make your life more enjoyable, that would make you get to that place where you are actually more happy and more fulfilled, to show yourself off more confidently and to follow your dreams, or to delve more deeply into what they are in the first place. I feel like as soon as you try to do that, your mind gets like, it's like all of these thorns prop up in your mind, and they get all tangled up, and there are all of these what ifs, and there are all of these insecurities, and there are all of these like negative self-talk things that come up in your mind, and they halt you. They actually like cage you in. They don't allow you to take any action. And so this dream, it just remains this beautiful dream in your head, in your mind, what could be, and how you would wish that your life was. And I do realize that it may sound really dramatic, and it may sound sort of like disheartening, but that's kind of what I feel that you are already dealing with, that those are the thoughts that you are trying to battle or overcome. Yeah, that's kind of the biggest issue that I'm feeling for you, Pile One. This half-life, or this daily routine and this existence that you are leading, which doesn't fully fill you up and doesn't fully do it for you, but that you are having a hard time breaking out of as well. It seems like it's quite a handful, that energy that you are dealing with internally. So I do feel for you, Pile One. But let's see. We're now going to move on to the tarot portion. So if you resonated with this part, keep on watching, because we're going to look at the biggest challenges now that you are leaving behind. So let's see what we can find out. Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. And we have Strength with the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay. It actually seems like the 2 sort of biggest challenges that are coming out for you are sort of very straightforward, given what we were just talking about. So starting off with the first challenge, we have 5 of Pentacles with the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. And so this to me is screaming of like loneliness, or suffering in silence, suffering by yourself, and keeping that sort of dissatisfaction and keeping that unhappiness under wraps, right? As I was saying, it seems like it is taking a lot out of you to keep up this sort of facade, or to give this impression that you are okay, even when in truth you are not. And I mean, this 9 of Pentacles, right? That's you trying to show everyone that you are okay. That's you trying to possibly even at times convince yourself that you are okay, that you are fine just the way that you are, and that you don't need to follow whatever this radiance within you is, or whatever those traits in you are that sort of make you not fit in with the masses, or that make you stand out. And with the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands, what this is telling me is that the burden of carrying that sort of unhappiness and that sense of lack by yourself, that is the main challenge that you are leaving behind. And I really love seeing that for you, because whenever I see the Ten of Wands, this to me tells me that like something has gotten as difficult as it can possibly get. Like you cannot tolerate, you cannot take any more. And I'm kind of getting the feeling with the Ten of Wands that this is saying that you are kind of reaching that point where you feel like that's enough. I can't do it anymore. I can't suffer any longer. And once you reach that point, once it becomes too much or too heavy for you to handle, that's the sort of the spark or the motivation that you need to get yourself to like overstep those insecurities anyway, because there's just no other way. And I also find it really interesting that in the Five of Pentacles, I'm just looking at the design of these cards. In the Five of Pentacles, the cage that she is basically in, right? Or the cage that is part of her body there is a flower that is sort of withering it within, right? And we have all of these flowers that she's carrying. And so again, it's kind of an interesting synchronicity to me. And it's telling me that that's the burden that you are carrying. This sense of lack, right? So I love seeing that that's what you are breaking out of, that you are not going to be carrying that burden with you anymore. And again, once you reach sort of that point of, like, I've had enough, I feel like that's when change is going to happen. And I sort of also see a very like similar story here with Strength, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. I see you seeking solutions and finally overstepping some fears. I mean, we have the Strength card here. And so this does tell me that one of the main challenges that you are leaving behind is actually like overcoming that paralyzing fear, that paralyzing self-talk that crops up every time you try, or you have tried, to do something about this half-life or this dissatisfaction that you're feeling. And with Strength, it tells me that that's what you're doing. Because the lion is symbolizing our sort of more base instincts, or our lower energies that we have to deal with. And those include fear, those include anger and jealousy and all of those more sort of heavy and negative emotions. But again, it's like you are sort of gaining control over them, at least to the extent of finally starting to seek solutions. We have the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Now, this Queen of Swords, it may represent another person. It may represent someone that you are sort of seeking out for assistance, for advice, even just to sort of really reveal what is truly going on in your emotional sphere and in your mental sphere. And I love that we are having the Knight of Swords specifically, because that is the mental level. That is the mind. That's what the sword is all about. And with the Queen of Swords, it does seem that whoever you are reaching out to, it could be a therapist, it could be a mentor or a teacher of some kind, it could be just a trustee, someone that you know that is very intelligent, or who like will understand. It could be a mother figure, it could be a sibling, it could be a friend, whoever really. But it does seem like it is someone who is more of in in more of a like an authoritative position in some way, or who seems to have more experience or more knowledge than you, and who you can turn to for some really, really solid and good advice. So it seems that this fear of actually revealing what you are going through with these fears and all of that, and finding solutions, it seems that that's the second challenge that you are sort of leaving behind or overcoming. Now, this Queen of Swords may symbolize yourself as well. If you resonate with the Queen of Swords energy, it doesn't mean that you have to be female or that the person you are reaching out to has to be female. This is just feminine energy that is coming out. But the Queen of Swords is very much solutions oriented. The Queen of Swords is very calm, very cool and collected, and makes decisions from a higher vantage point. By gathering information, by gathering facts and data and knowledge, and clearing up the solution from any sort of haze that the situation may be clouded by. And so this to me again is indicating that you are starting to, or that you will be starting to make actual moves, actual steps towards breaking out of this rut that you are in, to break out this dream from that like cage or this nest that it is in, and finally propel yourself forward to start doing something, to putting in place a plan, a strategy, a vision, something that you could follow and something that you could take practical steps from, and counteract those fears that keep propping up every time you have tried to get yourself in a better situation or in a better place. So those are some really, really big sort of inner accomplishments that you are doing. And yeah, I hope that you were excited about seeing these cards. But let's move on to the other tarot portion now, where we are going to look more specifically at what sort of potential opportunities can arise or will arise from you leaving behind this first challenge, and which ones will arise from leaving behind the second challenge. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. We're starting off with the Two of Cups, the Page of Swords reversed, and the Emperor. Okay. And we have the King of Pentacles with the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Five of Swords reversed. Okay. So let's start with the first opportunity. We have Two of Cups with the Page of Swords reversed and the Emperor. What I'm feeling here, pile number one, is that when you sort of finally feel like you've had enough of this suffering in silence, you've had enough of living this half-life and putting on this brave front that everything is fine when in truth it isn't, then I feel like the potential opportunity that may arise from you leaving that behind is, first of all, you getting into a place, into an emotional space, or into a let's just say into a personal state where you don't need other people's validation to feel secure within yourself. Because part of this sort of mask that you're putting on is for the sake of like pride, or is for the sake of wanting people's validation, wanting to, as I said, like fit in, when in truth I feel like you don't necessarily fit in completely, or you don't feel like your true self. And again, I'm not saying any of this to be like judgmental, or I don't mean to criticize what you are doing. Again, this is your life, right? I'm just here delivering these messages, but ultimately you get to decide what sort of life you live. So please always bear that in mind when hearing these messages. But I do feel like there is a certain element of being afraid of rejection, or being afraid of being, looked down upon or not understood, right? And so I feel like one of the biggest things that can happen from you sort of breaking out of that place is getting more into an aligned state with yourself. And again, feeling that sense of satisfaction or feeling that sense of belonging within yourself. But another thing, and probably more importantly, is that I feel like you will actually start attracting the right kind of people as well with this Two of Cups here. Because you are not misrepresenting yourself anymore, right? If you are trying to fit in somewhere that doesn't truly make you happy, that doesn't truly align with you and doesn't fully make you feel seen and heard and appreciated and loved for all that you are, then you cannot possibly connect with the people who will do that for you, who will see all that you are and who will appreciate you for all that you are, who will help build you up, right? Who will be there and support you as you are growing and as you are developing more and more into the person that you were meant to be in this lifetime. Like the Emperor, that is what I feel like you are becoming, or you are sort of on your path to becoming. That's you when you actually go out to chase that dream, to show yourself in your true colors. And especially with the Emperor here, I feel like there is true potential for you to claim some status or to actually make a really solid reputation for yourself, a really solid standing amongst the people who truly sort of think alike, or who value the same things you do and who are interested in the same things that you are. The people who vibe with you on a true soul level, the Two of Cups. And so this Emperor is not just symbolizing you feeling secure and feeling sort of confident within yourself, but it also symbolizes you having a very reputable standing, or a very honorable standing amongst others as well. Possibly even taking up a position of leadership, motivating or inspiring others, showing people what is possible, right? Leading by example, that type of thing. And when we move to the other cards here with the King of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the Five of Swords in reverse, I feel like the biggest opportunity that could arise from you overcoming this second challenge, or for you leaving behind this second challenge. Again, remember the one where you are sort of overcoming that fear and possibly reaching out to someone to seek assistance, counsel, help, to help work through those fears, or to just gain some valuable insight that would help you on your path to actually moving towards those dreams. What I see here is you sort of, you are again coming through with this super, super strong masculine energy. And I feel like this King of Pentacles is talking about you once again. It's talking about this sense of feeling so safe and secure within yourself that you no longer have to battle with those defeating thoughts within your mind, the Five of Swords reversed. You won't have to go through this one step forward, two steps back, because you'll be in a much more confident space. And so there is the potential of actually building some solid, physical, tangible, material safety and security for yourself as well. It won't just stay on this mental level or mind level, but you will actually start seeing some physical proof of that, proof of success, that you can succeed if you follow your true light. That's why those traits, that's why those gifts and talents were given to you in the first place. That's why those inspirations and those interests were given to you in the first place, because you were meant to do something with them. And I feel like actually following the calls, or the callings, I should say, and putting in effort to overcome that ego talk, that negative, belittling or self-defeating, self-limiting and restricting self-talk, that is going to be a massive, massive like floodgate opening, that type of energy. I feel like there will be so much energy released when you are able to do that. And again, this King of Pentacles is a promise of security. It's indicating that you can have a safe haven for yourself. You can have a sense of well-being that is not just on an emotional level, but something that you can physically experience too. And I love that it's bringing you stability, because that's what I feel like you are really sort of yearning for here. I feel like that's the main thing that is holding you back, is this fear of not having stability, or this fear of not being looked after. And I feel like in truth you are very much capable of leading a life that makes you happy, that fulfills you, but that also gives you the security and the well-being that you need. So massive energies coming through here, pile one. I feel like this is some really deep level stuff. I don't know whether you were able to sort of get that from these messages, but it definitely feels rather deeply embedded to me, or like very sort of diving deep down into the core of things. But we are going to close the reading out with some final oracle card messages. Now, these 3 oracle cards are going to be messages from Spirit that are going to be guidance or advice for you regarding this reading. So let's see. We have the magic of the Coelen Druid. I hope that I pronounced it right. Caution, secrecy, wary. Yeah, I feel like that's you. Okay, and next, next we have a complete opposite. Transparency, honest, authentic, genuine, present. And finally we have Imrama, wander, voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, journey of the soul. Wow, okay, these cards are so on the nose, it's actually somewhat frightening. So they pretty much sum up everything that we have just been talking about. And I feel like just the main message here that Spirit is sort of implying, or that they are giving you as advice, is to go on this journey of the soul, to explore where this truth of yours is actually going to lead, where this passion of yours is going to lead. What will happen? Where will it take you if you actually reveal your quirky or weird or unconventional sides that you have? When you actually think or get to this state of mind where you're just, you know, I don't really care what anyone says or thinks. This is my life. This is my journey. And I am going to go after and explore what makes me happy. And I'm going to be living in my truth. And I don't have to hide myself anymore. If someone doesn't like me, that is their problem. And I don't have to impress them in any way. It's not my job to make other people like me and my choices and my life, right? As long as you are living in your truth, as long as you are doing what is in your highest good without harming anyone else in the process, or intentionally doing harm to others in the process, it honestly does not matter what everyone else says or thinks, or what others' opinions are of the choices that you make. I feel like it's time to bring those deeper secrets and aspects of you that you are keeping hidden out into the daylight. Because I do feel like this wonder voyage, I feel like it's such a beautiful way of saying it. I do feel like it is going to be a wonder voyage for you. It will open up this whole new world and bring you emotions and sensations that you maybe haven't even dreamed of. You haven't even imagined that are possible. So, wow. Oh my goodness. Pile number 1. This was such a heavy hitter. I don't know how you are holding up. I don't know how you are feeling. If you are even still here after all of that. And trust me, I do not blame you if you decided to tune out at some time during this reading, because I do realize that the messages were quite heavy and quite difficult to listen to. But if you are still here, then, you know, I really, really appreciate you listening to this and taking in the information and the messages, and I hope that they were useful to you. I hope that they spoke to you and that they, you know, gave you the guidance that you need. But anyway, okay, pile 1, I'm gonna leave it here. I feel like we have been here for ages already. Thank you so much once again. If you enjoyed this reading, or if something spoke to you in this reading, please let me know. You can give me a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment down in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. You can also subscribe and join my little feather tribe if you haven't done that already. And besides that, any information that you need is going to be in the description box down below. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, okay, that's it. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you very soon in my next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. I am so happy that you are here, and I hope that you are excited for the reading. Even though, again, as I said, I feel like this one is a bit more serious yet again, but its aim is to be truly useful and helpful to you, right? So anyway, as I already went through in the intro part, but just in case you missed it, we are going to be starting off with some oracle cards first to look at the biggest issue that you are currently dealing with, or issues, there may be several, that you are currently dealing with, and that way we can see what the whole theme of today's reading is. So let's see. Okay, we're starting off with wealthy man and unexpected income. Okay. We also have oh sunny day with day and night. Okay. Oh my god. I love it when we get like synchronistic words, or words are repeating in different cards. We also have meadow, vulnerability. The muse. And finally, angel of strength. Okay. So pile 2, I have to confess, I'm somewhat perplexed by these cards. Or I'm getting like somewhat like almost like 2 different stories or 2 different messages, and they're not completely different, but they are somewhat, they feel sort of separate energetically. But anyway, okay, let me just start somewhere. So I feel like the first energy that I can describe in the best way is, it almost feels like a situation where a person who maybe comes from like a humble background, or just like a sort of a regular background, you know, and they are living their sort of normal life, and then at one point like they come across some really prosperous opportunity, or it's like luck shines upon them and they win a lottery or something, right? And then for the first time in their life, they have all of this money, all of this wealth, and it's like their life literally changes overnight. That's like the best way that I can describe the first energy that I was feeling here. And I'm not saying that all of you have had to win the lottery or something like that, but I just feel like there has been a massive shift, very likely for some of you in your finances, because we do have 2 of these very specifically financial cards here, and it almost seems like it has turned your life on its head in some way, because on the inside you are still you are still the person you were before that massive shift happened. And I do feel like that massive shift has taken place outside of you, in your external realm, and that you are now sort of trying to adjust to. But I feel like it's kind of difficult for you to get a handle on things, or to get a grip on your new reality. That's what it sort of feels like for the first energy that I'm feeling. But now the second energy that I'm feeling, it's like there is this image of you that other people perceive in a very, very specific way, or that maybe you yourself are somewhat like representing in a very specific way, but that it doesn't fully like reflect who you truly are on the inside. You may be putting on this front that is confident, very sort of self-assured, very much like who knows what they're doing, that type of thing, and possibly even showing yourself as a lot more secure and a lot more possibly even like financially, right? Because again, we have these financial cards, a lot more secure than you really are. But actually on the inside, there is this sort of softness or this gentility, this vulnerability, right? Like we have with the meadow. So it almost feels like you are not actually as strong and as tough as you possibly make it seem or make it out to be to other people. I'm sorry, I'm still massively struggling with my words. Mercury retrograde is still in full swing, even though I guess by the time this video goes up, it won't be anymore. But yeah, as I'm filming this, it's still Mercury retrograde and it's still kicking my butt. So I do apologize and I ask you to bear with me. But anyway, so those are like the two energies that I'm feeling here. And as I said, they feel somewhat similar, but at the same time, they feel completely separate or completely distinct as well. So it could be that some of you are sort of struggling with your image or your persona and your true being, and sort of almost being afraid that people find out about your true self, or that gentle aspect of you that you are trying to hide. Whilst for others of you, I feel like whatever has shifted in your external realm, you are having a very, very hard time, again, sort of making it mesh in with who you are and who you were before that shift took place. So there is this certain like instability or timidness that I feel that you are sort of dealing with on the inside. Now, especially if you are in that first group, right? And if you've had some sort of massive shift externally, especially if you have actually, I don't know, if you have gotten an inheritance, if you have just won a lot of money, if someone has gifted you some money, if you have like gotten some sort of bonus or promotion, raise, that type of thing at work, or if you just like landed a massive new client, or if you've landed massive new investors, or any, like whatever it is, if, again, especially if it is financially speaking, that has shifted for you. I feel like you are truly actually wishing for someone to like support you in this, or to help you in some way, because I do feel like you are having a very hard time knowing what to do. That's what I feel like this muse is symbolizing here. It's like you are yearning for inspiration. You're yearning for some sort of answers to come in, some sort of divine wisdom, divine insight. And again, with this angel of strength, it seems that like you are doing your best to appear very like composed and strong and resilient on the outside. But again, with the day and night, it seems like the truth is actually something completely opposite. It's like this sunny day that even though, again, even if it is like a very positive thing, that shift has brought into your life, and I do feel that it is. I feel like it is a very positive thing in and of itself, but you're just maybe having a harder time with it than you are actually letting on. And it almost, especially with this vulnerability, I'm kind of feeling it in a twofold way. Not only are you feeling vulnerable because you're possibly having difficulty like adjusting to this shift or this new reality that you find yourself in, but also I feel like you feel vulnerable because it's like you are feeling as if you're a target, or as if you're an easy mark for someone to take advantage of. It's like you realize that if you have something valuable, there are always going to be people who are going to be like wanting to take that from you, or wanting to get a piece of that for themselves, right? Wanting to take advantage of you somehow. Like you become very, very susceptible to deception, and people like using you or being with you or pretending to be your friend and pretending to be your confidant just so they can reap the benefits of your wealth, right? So I don't know. That's what I'm feeling. Pile number 2, honestly, I'm being completely honest here. This feels like so confusing to me, and I have no idea whether what I'm saying is going to resonate with anyone out there, if this is going to make sense for anyone, or if this is like complete gibberish. I don't know, seriously. But I hope that it is going to make sense at least for one of you. That would be great. So yeah, if you resonate with this scenario, if you recognize this, then yeah, this should be your reading, so keep on watching. And I also wanted to point out, just because we had this unexpected income, so that's what mainly makes me think that this change, especially again if you are in that first pile, that I'm feeling probably more strongly, if you've had that like radical shift or some sort of positive upturn in your external realm or in your physical material life, then, you know, anyway, I feel like this unexpected income, sorry, I know I'm rambling. This unexpected income is making me sort of feel like it's somewhat of a new adjustment or addition, but it could also be that this, that you are already in this position of like, some of you could already be in a position of like, wealth or prosperity or abundance, or just being in a very, very secure space. And so it could be that this unexpected income is what someone is like hoping to receive from you. So again, take it as it resonates, please. And if it doesn't, then, you know, that's okay too. It may not be your reading, but okay, sorry. I digress. Let's move on to the tarot portion. So we are going to be looking at the 2 main challenges that you will be leaving behind. So let's see. We have the 8 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Swords reversed, and the 9 of Swords. Okay. And we also have, wow, the 3 of Swords. Talk about challenge. The 3 of Wands, interesting. And the Queen of Pentacles. We have another, okay, yeah. So this material aspect is definitely a key player here. So I would say that the sort of financial aspect or the material aspect is definitely sort of the main theme for like most of you, if not all of you. Okay, so let's get into these cards. Now, looking at these 6 cards, which are talking about the 2 main challenges that you are leaving behind, I'm actually getting the sense that the 2 energies that I was feeling, they could actually be like both existing at the same time, at least for some of you. It could be that you were having this difficulty with like the material affluence, or for some of you like sudden affluence, and you may also be having difficulty with like letting people in, or showing your true gentle side, because again, it's like you're afraid that people will like take advantage of that somehow. Or yeah, there is this very, very, very strong and heavy facade, and it's all for your protection. Anyway, sorry. Let's go back to the actual cards. So we are starting off with the 8 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Swords reversed, and the 9 of Swords. Now, these three cards are telling me that the first biggest challenge that you are leaving behind is one of like analysis paralysis, these fears that are making you sort of feel like you don't really know what you're doing and you don't really know how to move on from here. The Eight of Wands in reverse specifically, this talks about like either some obstacles or difficulties or your momentum being halted somehow. And I do feel like this is just talking about sort of you putting a brake on things, or you sort of like slowing down your roll or slowing your pace because of the fears that you are dealing with, the unknowns, the thoughts that are making you feel very, very unsure of yourself. The Eight of Swords in reverse specifically, like this to me feels, especially with the Nine of Swords, I mean, both of those are air element cards. Swords, the sword suit always talks about like communication or thought processes or like what is going on in your mind, and like the sort of conversations that you are having with yourself and all of those things. And I feel like it's saying that what you are leaving behind is this like self-limiting behavior that is caused by you feeling rather like insecure, you feeling afraid, right? Feeling vulnerable. That's what, like, we actually had this card of vulnerability, right? You being afraid to show yourself as you truly are. And it may mean that an aspect of that is like actually revealing that you don't have all the answers, or that you don't know exactly what you're doing, or that you need help, you need support, that you don't have it all figured out all by yourself, or that you're not as strong as you possibly make it out to be, right? There is an element of loneliness here, I do have to say, and I feel like you have been doing a really good job at like masking that loneliness, or possibly even like brushing it aside to yourself as well. But I do feel like it's there. I feel like it's an ever-present thing, and it is sort of gnawing at you, that like wanting to be supported somehow, or wanting to not have to figure it out all by yourself. That Nine of Swords, that vulnerability, feeling exposed somehow. And I feel like that's the thing that has been halting your progress. That's the thing that has been holding you back from sort of making strides. Again, with the muse, it's like you are waiting for some sort of clarity, you're waiting for some sort of inspiration, this like aha moment of like, okay, I know what to do now, and now I can do it, or like now I feel courageous enough to do it. It could be an idea, it could be like actual help from someone, whatever it is. Whatever this muse symbolizes for you specifically, the thing that you are like waiting for or yearning for. It seems that this insecurity or sort of paralyzing fear that you are feeling, that's the first challenge that you are going to be leaving behind. This is a really, really good thing to see here. That's massive. And now we move on to the second challenge here, which is represented by the Three of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. And now these three cards here are talking about this fear of you like putting yourself out there, or you expanding, or you reaching out to someone, to other people. Especially with the Three of Wands here. The Three of Wands is indicative of expansion, of growth, of like development, especially in areas where you haven't been before, that are novel to you. And with the Three of Swords, what this is telling me is that you do have some sort of past disappointments that you have experienced. So, you know, maybe you have already been through different circumstances or scenarios where people have taken advantage of you and have taken advantage of your kindness, your generosity, even if it hasn't been like necessarily monetary. Maybe people have taken advantage of your time, of your skills, of your talents, of your love, of your care or attention, or whatever it is. And so I feel like there is this jadedness or this, yeah, like you're not really willing to trust very easily. Like there are definitely walls up. Again, as I said, there is this like facade that you're putting on. But the thing that is behind the scenes is a whole different story. And so I feel like these disappointments or these hurts of like you showing your true vulnerable self and being taken advantage of, those like hurts and wounds are still very much ruling your decisions and your behavior in the present as well. But with this Queen of Pentacles, I actually feel like that it's talking about someone else. And I feel like it's depriving you of like connecting or finding someone who would match your energy in that way, who would be your equal, who would bring to the table what you can bring to the table, or like who would at least, let's say, complement what you bring to the table in a very, very like balanced way. Someone who you could like expand and grow together with, someone who would support you and nurture and care for that vulnerable, caring side, that gentle side that you have. Someone who would value and appreciate those things about you. And so I feel like this other challenge that you are leaving behind is this this sort of pain-driven decision-making pattern that has kept people out, or that has kept support out, and that has kept you in that space where you feel like you have to do it all by yourself. Again, bringing me back to that aspect of loneliness, right? This like yearning for something and wanting, feeling like there is something in you that you are wanting to be seen and wanting to be acknowledged and cared for, but that you are, again, protecting, that you are hiding away. And it does feel like it's because of the sort of the pain that you have endured in the past. But I feel like it's in the past for a reason. And just because someone has taken advantage of you, or someone has not appreciated you for all of you, it doesn't mean that everyone else will be exactly the same way. And I feel like that is what you are like leaving behind. So anyway, yeah, okay, the last thing I want to add here is that I feel like the type of people that you possibly have been attracting that haven't appreciated that generous, kind, loving side of you, or have that have taken advantage of you somehow, I feel like you are capable of like coming out of that energy of attracting those types of people to you. But I feel like you have to be able to believe that that's possible. Okay, I hope that that made sense. Anyway, so let's move on to the other tarot portion now, and let's look at the tarot cards that will show us what are the potential opportunities that will arise from you leaving behind these challenges. Okay, so we're starting off with the Three of Cups in reverse. We have another Strength card. We also had Strength here. And the Seven of Wands. And, oh yeah, beautiful. We have Death and Rebirth with the Fool and the Eight of Cups. Oh my goodness, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's dive into these cards now. The first thing I want to say is that there is a slight similarity to pile number one. So if you were drawn to pile number one as well, or if you couldn't decide between the two, then you may want to check out pile 1 too, just because there were some similar elements coming through, specifically about like hiding certain aspects of yourself. And so some messages I feel like have a similar streak to them, so I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, so let's actually look at the opportunity. So we have the Three of Cups reversed, Strength, and the Seven of Wands. And these cards are talking about the potential opportunities that will arise from you leaving behind these challenges. So as we were talking about the main challenge here first, which, to remind you, was regarding your inner fears, your insecurities, and that sort of halting your progress and possibly like being in that paralysis analysis state. With strength and the Seven of Wands coming out upright, right next to each other like that, what this is telling me is that you will become untouchable. That's the word that I heard. As soon as these cards came out, the word in my head that I heard was untouchable. And I feel like that's the potential that you can really step into, where you will have this certain like confidence within yourself, again with the Strength card, being confident in yourself that you can tackle no matter what is being put on your path with the Seven of Wands here, that you will no longer feel the need to hold yourself back in any way. Because with the Three of Cups reversed, first of all, I feel like there will be the sort of notion that like you will stop feeling the need to like impress people or impress the wrong kind of people. But also, and more importantly, with the Three of Cups, it's telling me that you will sort of like overcome this fear of things going wrong or things not playing out in the best way. Because again, with the Seven of Wands and strength like this is very, very powerful energy, very, very like self-assured energy, that knowing within you that no matter what happens, you will be able to come out of that situation. You will find a way. You will be able to come out on top. Like those fears, they have nothing on you, and they won't be able to restrain you. They won't be able to hold you back any longer. And again, because the Three of Cups reversed, it can indicate disappointing results or some sort of mistakes or some sort of bounty not coming about. But with the Seven of Wands here, this is like a very clear indication that you will be able to overcome any obstacle. That's what these wands are representing here. Obstacles, struggles, challenges, basically anything sort of annoying and difficult that you need to overcome. But I feel like that's the potential opportunity that you will be able to get, is that sort of knowing or this proof, this confidence that you have what it takes. And so with the Seven of Wands, and Wands being the suit of fire, right? Passion, drive, action, movement. It's actually putting you in that space where you are able to start taking action, to start moving yourself forward again, out of this analysis paralysis. So yeah, I really love seeing that, because this to me signifies growth and a lot of potential for future growth as well. And now more specifically, as we are looking at the sort of challenge number 2, right, that we were talking about earlier, with you possibly being afraid to open up to people and still sort of feeling that level of being threatened or being afraid to expose yourself to the wrong people or being taken advantage of. With Death, the Fool, and Eight of Cups, this to me is a whole complete rewrite of your future. This to me is a full rebirth, where you, like when you open up to new people, or when you allow yourself to open up and to not hold yourself back because of a fear of, like, you know, again, people taking advantage of you somehow. These cards here are telling me that you can completely like experience a whole new reality here, especially with the Fool and the Eight of Cups. This is like a fresh, clean slate. This is like walking away from the past of whatever happened, whatever someone did to you. You will be able to leave that pain behind like with the Eight of Cups here, and dive into a whole new reality with the Fool here. The Fool is a fresh new beginning. The Fool is you sort of having the courage to leap into something unknown, to something new. And again, with Death being here and the Eight of Cups both, this is a very solid promise that you won't be experiencing or repeating those same experiences that you've had in the past. You are walking away from them. You are turning your back on them. So there is a potential to actually dive into something really, really positive and promising. Something that has real potential with the Fool. It's like everything is available to you, but you have to believe in it. That's the magic of the Fool. It's solely based on belief and trust. So wow. Yeah, these messages, I swear, I was kind of prepared that there were going to be heavy hitting energies, but I wasn't prepared for stuff like this, because this feels like it's the same thing that we had in pile 1 too. It's very like deep and almost hits you to the core. So this is massive, pile 2. But I also feel that there is like massive opportunity, massive potential for a future that is a lot lighter and that is a lot less ruled by fear, much less ruled by fear. But let's look at the final oracle card messages. Now, these are going to be advice or guidance from Spirit to you regarding this reading. So let's see what we have. We have guide, a guide, mentor, a trustworthy ally. Yeah, I feel like that's that Queen of Pentacles energy right here that we were talking about. As I said, I feel like there is potential to actually attract someone like that. We also have adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Okay, again. And finally, we have experiments, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, or arrogance. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about them. So the first thing, let's start with the guide energy here. So this guide card is very specifically saying that, like, what you need is someone that you can trust. Like, you cannot do everything by yourself. You cannot always only rely on yourself. You need some people that you know that will always have your back. You need true confidants, true friends, true soul members, or soul family members. And so I feel like that's why this card is here to advise you to seek someone like that, or at least to open yourself up to having the possibility of finding someone like that. And it does require opening up, right? It does require actually revealing to someone that you trust what you're truly going through. So I feel like support could definitely come in that way. But I also feel with this adrift card here that this is almost saying that Spirit is like wanting to participate in this as well. And I mean, we had this Angel of Strength here. We also had the Strength card over here. So the Strength card also speaks of like the higher self and the lower self, and angelic or like divine support. And I do feel like divine inspiration could come in and could help you as well. But like, because we had the muse here, right? Like, I feel like that's what you are waiting for. You're waiting for some sort of inspiration. You're waiting for some sort of answers. But at the same time, I feel like there isn't that much space for that, like, knowing to come in right now because of all of these fears, right? That you are sort of battling with. And I feel like that part of that is, like, you sort of fighting against this knowledge, or fighting against this sense that something is wrong to begin with, or that something is, that you are feeling vulnerable, you are feeling afraid. It seems like you're putting a lot of energy into hiding that aspect. And so I do feel like Spirit is recommending you to sort of take it more easy, and again, to allow this space for the sort of answers to come to you. And finally, with this experiments card, I'm not actually getting like the original meaning of this card, which is, to be fair, rather specific anyway, but I'm kind of getting the sense that these two cards are somewhat like tied together, this Adrift and this Experiment. What I feel like Spirit is saying is to let go of those like past experiences that you have had, where people have manipulated you, where people have taken advantage of you, or sort of turned what you have to their advantage somehow. So again, like we had with the Death card, right? And like we had with the Three of Wands, trying to like leave the past in the past and move away from that and allow a new reality to be woven. I feel like that is a very, very big and a very crucial part of your journey, especially into like coming to terms with your new reality. But I also feel like this experiment's like, for you, pile 2, is saying that you can be open and sort of explore what life will bring you, and you can't always be afraid of everyone having the worst intentions when it comes to you, and like putting up more of these walls or sheltering yourself excessively. It's only going to bring in more of that loneliness and more of that sense of suspicion when someone like does really truly want to connect with you and who does have genuine intentions towards you. But it's like you are sort of so used to seeing threat everywhere that you only, like, you see boogeymen where they don't exist. I feel like that's why this card is here, is to kind of almost like warn you of becoming a bit too jaded or a bit too closed off and unreachable or detached. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here, pile 2. I don't know how much of it made sense to you. Just being completely honest, I don't feel like very sure about this at all. I don't know, sometimes the messages that I get are just, they completely perplex me, and they don't make sense to me. But obviously it's not my story, so I don't know whose story this is. But if this is yours and if you could relate to this, then I would honestly so much appreciate you letting me know. But yeah, I do apologize for like stumbling over my words and just, you know, it's a whole ordeal getting these messages out during Mercury retrograde, but you know, what can you do? I hope that it was still useful to you and that you could get some useful like guidance or insight, and hopefully it'll help you move forward in the best way for you. But thank you so much. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe if you would like to hang out with me in the future and do more of these readings. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, then please take care of yourselves. All the information that you need is in the description box down below, so check that out if you're interested. And I hope to see you very soon in my next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. I am excited to jump into your reading, and I hope that you are too, even though, as I said, this is probably going to be more of a serious reading. But that doesn't mean that it's bad, right? I hope that you agree. Anyway, we are going to start off with a portion of Oracle cards first, just to get a look at, like I was saying in the intro, what are the biggest issues or issue that you are currently dealing with. So let's see. Okay, we have message. We have main, female. We have transformation. And secrets. Oh, okay. We have another card of communion. Wow, we have the soulmate, number 22, and we have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Okay. So pile number 3, I'm actually getting a rather straightforward scenario here. So just in case, I want to give you a heads up. If this scenario does not resonate with you, just go ahead and pick another pile, because this feels like it's probably not going to resonate for like very many people, but we'll see. Anyway, so the main issue or the main theme that I see here for you, pile 3, is a situation in a relationship. Now, it doesn't have to be specifically a romantic relationship. It can also be a friendship. It can be a relationship between family members. It can be a relationship between friends. It can even be a relationship between you and your children, if you have any, or you and your parents, or, you know, however. Point is, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Even though we do have the card here that talks about soulmates. And so this sort of makes me think, and especially because we have the main female here too, whether this is talking about you or whether this is talking about the other person in your relationship. There is a sort of connection of the souls, or there is a deeper connection here for sure. And I'm also saying it because of all of the moons that we have here. We have the moon card on the secrets card. We have the moon, sorry, on the secrets card. We have all of the different phases of the moon on this card here. And we have the moon very, very hazily, or you can't really tell that it's a moon, but it's a moon. We have it on the eagle card as well. And so it makes me think that there is very, very deep emotion intertwined into this issue. It seems like you have a very deep emotional bond with this person, or there is a lot of emotional weight regarding this situation. And the thing here that seems to be the most sort of troublesome is that someone, it can be you, it can be the other person, but someone in the relationship has started to change, has started to develop or evolve in a sort of probably different way or at a different rate than the other person in the relationship. And so I almost see like this slight like drifting apart energy, or like you can't connect with that individual, or they can't connect with you the same way that you used to. Something has radically shifted and changed, and I don't feel like it's an overnight thing. I don't think that it happened sort of suddenly. It has been a process, and that's what sort of the phases of the moon and the phases of the blooming of the rose here, that's what this is symbolizing to me. It has been a process, but something has changed, and whoever in the relationship is the one who has changed, or who feels that they have sort of emotionally, possibly also mentally, but mainly I feel like emotionally and physically drifted apart from their partner, or from that relationship, from the other person. It seems that they don't really know how to talk about it. They don't know how to address it or how to handle the situation. It seems that because of this secrets card, and especially because of this, we have all of these cards of talking, communication, right, with this communion and this message. There is a desire to talk. There is a desire to sort of hash things out again, whether it's you who is feeling that because you feel like you can't connect to the other person in the same manner anymore, or it's the other person who feels that way about you. But in either case, most likely I feel like it's you who is sort of having this difficulty or wanting to connect and feeling like you don't really resonate with that person anymore. You're having a hard time finding like common ground or being in that same energetic wavelength that you used to be. But whoever this is in the relationship who is struggling with these changed emotions, they are very much keeping it to themselves, close to their chest. They're not revealing it. Because again, I feel like it's just a matter of how. It seems to be this like elephant in the room that obviously both of you feel that something has changed, but no one is really addressing. And so it seems that like space between you, or that void, is like slightly growing. Now we have the second chakra card here too, which is talking about the sacral chakra. It's the chakra where our passions come from, our sexuality, our inspiration, our drive. And so, because it is next to the soulmate card here, I do get the sense that if this story is resonating with you, then for a lot of you, it could be a romantic relationship. It could be that you have had some sort of level of intimacy that has now started to dwindle, or there's something like diminishing, or like it's not the same. It's not what it once was. The spark has seemed to like started to change. And now I'm not saying that it's that you or the other person have lost the spark, or that you don't feel things for each other anymore. But I just feel like it's changing, right? With this transformation card, it's changing, it's morphing into something new, into something else. It may not be necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you are like going to be, drifting apart completely. I mean, that is up to you, right? How you want to ultimately handle the situation, and whether you want to keep this relationship going or not. That is up to you. But I do feel like as long as this sort of shifting energy that is not being addressed is present within your relationship, that distance is only like growing. And I feel like there's just the issue of not knowing, or not being able to communicate honestly about the true feelings and thoughts that either you or this other person has. But the shift is in the relationship, or this sort of elephant in the room regarding the changes in your energetic connection. That seems to be the main issue here. So anyway, if you resonate with this, then this is clearly your story, and keep on watching. But let me see if I feel anything else here. No, I don't think I am. Okay, so let's keep going. We have the tarot cards to look at next, and we are going to look at the main challenges that you are leaving behind. So we're going to look at challenge number 1 and challenge number 2. So let's see. Okay, yeah, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, not surprising. We have the Star in reverse, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. We also have Temperance, 7 of Wands in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. Okay. Okay, so let's address these cards. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Star in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles. Now, as soon as both of those knights came out, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see why we have the Soulmates card here. Because first of all, with both knights coming out, it seems like it is a rather, how should I say, like an equal or a level relationship, where like it's not like one is somehow higher up than the other. And also because we have the water element and the earth element, which are both like well, they're both feminine in nature. So they could be talking about you, or they could be talking about you and the other person in your relationship. But anyway, the first challenge that you are leaving behind, pile 3, is one of standstill. And specifically regarding like withholding emotions or withholding the truth. With the Star here, with the Star in reverse, it seems that something is like not being, as I said, is not being addressed. And so it's starting to grow into something that needs healing, that needs tending to. And I feel like the first thing that I was feeling with the star is like someone is starting to lose hope in the relationship. And for some reason, again, I feel more strongly that it is you. But again, take it as it resonates. And I just feel like the vision that you had, or that this other person had for the relationship, has turned out to be something different. Like the reality has seemed to be different. That's what I feel like this Knight of Pentacles. We're not like focusing on, you know, these energies as people. Knight of Pentacles to me in this case is symbolizing that, like, that reality aspect. And the star with the Knight of Cups is talking to me about the fantasy aspect, like the dream, the ideal, the thing that was once imagined or visualized, fantasized about. The hopes, right, with the star, the thing that, or the hopes and dreams and wishes that you had for this relationship, or that the other person had for your relationship. And it seems to be that the reality is something completely different. And so this like standstill energy where someone is not addressing and opening up about their true emotions, that seems to be the first challenge that you are leaving behind. So again, because we have this Knight of Pentacles upright, someone is going to be coming forward and sort of starting to deal with the situation head on. But now the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow and cautious energy. And so that's why I feel like this is, again, more so talking about you. Where you seem to be the one who like initiates this either discussion or this conversation or whatever. But again, if the tables are turned, right, if the situation is in reverse for you, then it can be that the other person is going to be approaching you. But the Knight of Pentacles is a very, very, very cautious energy. So this is telling me that the process is not going to be like a quick and like a very fiery one or anything like that. It's going to be a very like practical, methodical way of handling the situation. But it does seem like the standstill energy is going to be tended to or tackled. So hopefully you can find solace that it is going to be that this weird energy that no one is talking about, that no one is addressing, is going to be coming to an end. So that's the first one. Now we also have Temperance. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse, and we have the Tower in reverse. And I feel like this is talking about your emotions, your emotional state. With the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Tower in reverse, this to me feels like it's like you have tried to not let the sort of the worst case scenarios get to you and to spiral down a very, very negative like space with your thoughts. But I feel like it hasn't been the easiest, and it has definitely worn you out. And so I feel like with these cards coming out here, it's symbolizing that you won't have to like restrain yourself anymore. You won't have to fight against the feelings that you were truly feeling with the Seven of Wands. You won't have to fight for those feelings, or fight against those feelings, I should say. So like sort of hold it all together with the Tower in reverse. You can finally like kind of release it, or you can finally let it go, and you can finally allow the truth to like flow out. And I feel like, again, this is almost like a succession, or this seems like a continuation of energy. So when this first challenge of like no one talking about anything and keeping their emotions to themselves and not addressing what the reality or what the truth is, when that is first sort of taken on or tackled as an issue, then I feel like this is almost like a byproduct of that issue being handled. And so the second issue of you having to deal with your emotions, that those changing emotions, and sort of trying to keep them in balance and trying to put on this very like composed and harmonious sort of what's the word? A facade with the Temperance here, you won't have to do that anymore. You can actually just say how you feel and sort of, I feel like, be very honest about it. And I feel like with the Tower, with the Tower reversed, this is almost telling me that there has been a very, very heavy or strong flow of emotions that you have tried to like suppress or manage somehow, or hold back. So it could be quite a powerful release once that sort of blockage is removed and you can actually sort of let it out, what you are truly feeling. So just be sort of mindful of that, because the Tower can be quite destructive if not handled with care, so to say, like more destructive than you would like. So yeah, just be mindful of that. But again, generally, I feel like it is a good thing, and it will definitely feel like a massive release. Yeah, that's what I feel for you with the challenges. But let's now move on to the other portion of the tarot cards. And these tarot cards are going to tell us what are the potential opportunities that will arise from you handling or leaving behind this first challenge and this second challenge. So let's see. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Not surprised, not surprised. And the Six of Wands, love seeing that. Oh my God, yeah, and the Nine of Swords reversed. Yeah, see, this is that like release. Seven of Swords reversed for the second one. 10 of Wands reversed. I almost want to say released. 10 of Wands reversed. And oh my God, the Star in reverse again. Yeah, okay. Sorry that the light has changed and everything kind of looks a bit different, because the sun came out just as I was revealing the cards for the these opportunities that we're going to talk about in a second. So yeah, I had to tone down the lighting from my ring light, and so yeah, it looks a bit different, but hopefully that's okay. So anyway, let's get to the cards, because these are really the interesting parts. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Swords reversed as the first potential opportunity that will arise from you handling this first challenge, which again, to remind you, was all about addressing that elephant in the room, addressing and saying the things that have been left unsaid, the emotions that have been hidden, or this, like, again, the reality of the relationship and how that has changed and shifted since, you know, since before, what you sort of hoped and wished for that relationship, right? And so with the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands, I love both of these cards coming out. With the Ace of Swords is truth. The Ace of Swords in its like most basic form is truth. It's clarity. It's breaking through the haze, the confusion, the unknown, and the speculations and the deductions and assumptions and all of those things, right? That like none of those things are based on fact. And the Ace of Swords comes in and it brings clarity. And so I feel like that is the first, like, very, very positive thing here. But because we also have the Six of Wands, this Ace of Swords speaks also of victory. It speaks of breakthrough. And the Six of Wands is a card of victory, is a card of success. And so what this tells me is that with the Nine of Swords reversed, you won't have to, like, be trapped in your mind anymore. You won't have to, like, visualize and sort of imagine and be stuck in your head with all of these, like, with all of these thoughts of, like, disappointment or like how things have gone wrong or how things haven't turned out the way that you had hoped. Or, you know, it's like we can get stuck in our own minds ruminating about things, especially if there are very, very important and heavy things on our chest that we are not addressing and that we're not speaking of. That's that like Nine of Swords energy, that our mind literally starts attacking us. With the Nine of Swords coming out reversed, you won't have to be stuck in that energy anymore. And I feel like the conversation will actually turn out to be successful, because we have 2 cards of success coming out. So addressing the things that are bothering you, addressing the things that are sort of worrying you, or that are causing you anxiety, that are causing you stress and worry, not keeping them to yourself anymore, and actually, like, again, opening up about what the reality of the situation is and how that is making you feel. That, I feel like, is actually going to be much better received than you may think that it is. Especially if you are the one who is afraid of opening up to the other person about the changes that you are feeling in this connection, then this is sort of saying that addressing that will actually bring about like a much more wholesome energy. And I feel like the issues can be worked out and they can be cleared up very efficiently, but it just has to be addressed first. That's the hardest part here. But now we also have these cards here, and I actually love seeing all those cards. Well, the star in reverse is like, but we already had the star in reverse here, so it's nothing really new. But we have the 7 of Swords reversed, we have the 10 of Wands reversed, and we have the Star reversed. So when it comes to the second potential opportunity arising from the second challenge that you're leaving behind, which again, just to remind you, is about that, like, letting that emotional floodgate out and really opening up, not tempering your emotions anymore, not trying to suppress them and sort of like overcome your own thoughts or your own worst fears by yourself, right? Not trying to hold it all in. I feel like that this is just sort of symbolizing this like massive weight that is going to be dropped off your shoulders, which we already sort of talked about here. So I feel that very strongly with the 10 of Wands in reverse. That is that weight being dropped off your shoulders, and sort of that sigh of relief. But I feel like what this really means is that healing can finally start to happen with the Star in reverse. Like that healing cannot happen until the wound is exposed. And that's what the 7 of Swords in reverse to me is saying, that it's not going to be hidden or run away from anymore, but it actually is going to be exposed. It's going to be revealed. It's going to be talked about openly. And again, with all of these emotions sort of flowing out, it also means that this connection and this dream that you once had for this relationship can now be sort of untarnished, or you won't, how should I say it in the best way? Like, there's not going to be sabotaging that dream anymore, because again, we can do so much damage within ourselves, within our own minds, especially if we don't know the truth, or if we haven't discussed and talked openly about how we are feeling and what the other person is feeling. And we're just sort of, again, ruminating in our own minds, making assumptions and just thinking the worst of everything. We can actually end up sabotaging the relationship, even if the relationship itself has real potential, even if the relationship itself is not by any means damaged or ruined or whatever. But we, in our own minds, thinking the worst things possible can actually sort of ruin the relationship before it is actually ruined. I hope that makes sense. We can almost make this like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, we think the worst of the situation, and then we sort of start seeing the signs everywhere, and we start reading into things to sort of match our own perception. And in truth, the reality may be something completely different. Again, like we had over here, right? The reality is something completely different. And so I feel like addressing and letting these emotions out that you have been holding in is going to allow you to stop sabotaging this connection, and to stop sabotaging the potential of healing it and actually restoring the dream with the Star. Getting back into a good place, and possibly even a better place, a stronger place. Because the Seven of Swords being here, that definitely to me tells of sabotage. So yeah, acting towards like your own best interests, you know? And again, it's in no way a criticism. I want to make it super clear. I feel like I always have to say it, but this is not criticizing. I'm not criticizing your decisions. I'm not criticizing how you are behaving. I'm not criticizing what you're feeling, any of that. These energies, I'm just kind of talking about them the way that I feel that they are sort of resonating or applying. And again, as I said, like sometimes the truth has to be revealed, or the ugly underbelly, or these things that we would not necessarily want to look at, they have to be addressed so that we can allow the healing to start. And so yeah, we're just talking about energies. And again, if you don't want to take these messages on board, you don't have to. But this is what I'm seeing here for you, pile 3. These are the challenges, these are the opportunities. And so just kind of generally from both of these opportunities, like looking at them together, it seems that there is a lot of hope for this relationship. There is a lot of potential. Like it seems that nothing is really ruined, even though, again, it may seem to you like things are sort of getting worse and worse and worse. But actually, you can still bring it back. You can still sort of reconnect with that person. And all it really takes is just honesty and open communication, honest communication, letting your emotions out, letting your fears out, and just being very, very upfront about them, but also in a sort of like a humble way, I feel like, or in a like diplomatic way, right? Not projecting your fears onto the other person. I feel like that's really important. But anyway, so now before we close the reading out, let's look at these oracle cards from Spirit. And these oracle cards are going to be advice to you regarding the situation. Okay, we have Soul Cage, Rescue, Escape from Captivity and Restriction. We have Concomitancy. I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but anyway. Seashell Divination, Wisdom of Shells. And the Crane Bag, Sacred Ocean Medicine, Clutter, Declutter, Choice. Yeah, so I love that this card is actually talking about medicine, because we were all about healing with the Star card here. So again, I do feel like healing is very much possible for this relationship, and especially if you want to keep this relationship going and you don't want to give up on it, which looking at these cards, I feel like you don't, then yeah, this seems like it's a good idea to tackle these things, especially with the Soul Cage here, with Rescue and Escape from Captivity and Restriction. Again, like letting that floodgate out, freeing yourself from this standstill energy, freeing this relationship from this standstill energy by addressing the elephant in the room. That is probably the key to your success in this situation. And we also have this Seashell Divination card here. And so because it's a very, very specific, some of these cards in the deck are very specific. So I kind of just take this card as like divination. And so I almost want to like put these two cards together. Like, yes, you can like try and find out about the relationship and where it's going and what this other person is feeling and all of that. I know that those kinds of readings are very, very popular and a lot of people do them, and it's nothing against the people who do them. I have nothing against the people who watch these readings, but I feel like with this card saying choice, it almost feels like what Spirit is saying here is that it's your choice whether you want to actually do something about this relationship and like take action to like save it, to heal it, to get it to a better place, to declutter the sort of the nonsense or the negative energy or the unnecessary energy that is taking up space in this relationship and just clear all of that up, or whether you want to sort of keep everything hidden, keep everything suppressed, and just like try and get the truth out from divination. Again, it's up to you, because it is a choice. It's up to you how you want to go about the situation. But just looking at these cards, I do feel like Spirit is recommending here, because this is advice after all. Spirit is recommending that, yes, there may be some wisdom that comes from divination, just like we're doing here, right? Like from these cards, yes, you can get insight and you can get information, but ultimately, I feel like the best way to go about like tackling a situation or really working through a situation is by actually handling it in the physical material realm, right? In the 3D. And I almost feel like this is something to be wary of, the divination part. Because again, it can feed into the thoughts that you already have playing in your head that may not have like factual basis, or that may not have like confirmation from the other person that what you are thinking, what you are presuming or thinking, I already said thinking, fearing or worrying about in your head, that it's actually true. If you don't have that type of confirmation from the other person, then the things that you are sort of ruminating over, they may not actually be real at all. And so again, I feel like it's a good idea to be cautious and to be mindful of that, and like not get lost in those divination methods if you are sort of leaning towards going down that route, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Pile 3. Oh my goodness, this was such a colorful reading. That's the best way I can say it. It doesn't necessarily feel heavy. It doesn't necessarily feel even like too dramatic or anything. I actually feel like things are possibly better than what you were thinking, or you may be fearing something, that something is a lot worse than it actually is. So yeah, it just comes down to how you wish to handle the situation moving forward. But I really did enjoy delivering these messages to you, and I do hope that they were useful to you in some way, that they gave you something to consider, that they resonated in the first place. Please let me know if that's the case. If you found this reading helpful and useful, please let me know. You can give me a comment in the comment section. You can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you haven't already and you would like to hang out with me in the future too. I would really appreciate that. But anyway, please take care of yourselves, Pile 3. I am wishing you all the best, and also all the best to your relationship. I hope that everything works out well for you and exactly how you want. Take care, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. I hope that you're all doing well and that you are ready for this reading. So let's start off with these oracle cards first. As I already mentioned in the intro, we are first going to look at the biggest issues or issue that you are currently dealing with, and it will help us kind of lay a foundation for the reading, see what we are dealing with today, and also it will help you to decipher whether you are watching the right pile. So let's see. We have thoughts and coffin. I don't know why I'm getting a deja vu moment, like I've already seen these two cards come out together in a recent reading, but I may be mistaken. Okay, we also have Mermaid's Love and White Rose of Hope. Oh. We have Nurturing, Freedom. Wow, very similar energy here. Well, like, sorry, not energy, but illustration. And we have Appreciation. Okay. Okay, pile 4. I was looking at all these cards, and I have to be honest, I was having lots of trouble understanding what the issue is here, what the story is here. But I think I finally sort of realized, and the message that I'm getting here is that I see that you have a lot of freedom. Freedom is the center card of the reading. So it's telling me that you are living a rather unrestricted life, in the sense that you don't seem to have a lot of like responsibility towards someone else or towards another person. And that means I'm getting the sense that you're single, or at least that you are in not in any sort of like committed, deep, serious relationship with anyone. There is actually an element of you that is sort of wishing for that to change, hoping for that to change. But it's like, because it hasn't happened yet, or because you haven't found what you are looking for. Again, this feels very like romantic, or very this feels romantic, yeah, I do have to say. So if you are not interested in that and you are not resonating with those types of thoughts, go ahead and choose another pile, because this feels strictly like you are interested in romance. And if that's not you, then this is not your reading. But if this is you, then I do feel like these thoughts are like these thoughts of hoping and waiting and sort of dreaming that you will find this person who will match like you, and who will give you everything that you are hoping for, and who will sort of value you for you and love you in your entirety, with all of your flaws and all of your sort of weaknesses and shortcomings and all of that, and sort of offer you the care and the devotion and the love that you are hoping for. I feel like those thoughts are starting to like die out, or they're starting to, that hope that's happening is starting to disappear. And I feel like it's like weighing rather heavily on you, even though like I feel like in other aspects there are actually things that you sort of are very like proud of, very thankful for, grateful for. But it seems that when it comes to this like connection, that like true emotional soul level connection, where you do feel like you are being looked after and taken care of, and really like nurtured on a soul level, on an emotional level, on a physical level, like it seems that that's the missing link. That's the missing part. Because even looking at this appreciation card, we can see that this woman is in a garden where, like, yes, there are some flowers blooming, and I mean, she's appreciative of the flowers that are blooming, but the rest of it is like, it looks like it's dead. It looks like it's, you know, withered almost, or like nothing is growing there. And so, again, it seems like there is something missing. Something is missing. And again, because of this mermaid's love card here, I do feel like it is that like that connection. It's that sense of love. It's that sense of finding your true soulmate, finding your true like partner in crime, if I can say it that way. Because I feel like not only do you want to be nurtured and appreciated and loved and cared for, you also want to give that to someone else. And now more specifically, if you recently broke up with someone, then I feel like it could be that like that relationship is still weighing heavy on your mind, or like maybe you hoped that things would like work out between you two, or that you would find a way back to each other and things like would smooth over, you would get that reconciliation. But I feel like those sort of hopes are starting to disappear as well. So again, this is a very specific scenario, right? So if that resonates for you, that resonates for you. But just generally speaking, yeah, I feel like that emotional connection with someone, that is what you are missing amidst everything else that is happening in your life. So yeah, if you resonate with this, then definitely keep on watching. And yeah, because we're gonna now look at these tarot cards, and these tarot cards are going to tell us the main challenges, the two main challenges that you are leaving behind. So let's see. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, and the King of Swords. Very masculine energy coming through. And for the second one, we have Four of Cups reversed, the Devil reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. Pile number 4. Let's start with the first 3 cards here. We have the King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the King of Swords. And this is talking about the first challenge, as I said, that you are leaving behind. This, to me, is talking of you attracting the type of people who don't really resonate with you, or who you have a hard time connecting to on a very deep and meaningful level. The King of Swords, even though it's coming out upright, I feel like the King of Pentacles is you, by the way. And even though both of these cards are saying kings, it doesn't mean that you have to be male, or that you have to be attracted to males. This is just masculine energy, which is that like more active, more driven, making things happen, that type of thing. And the King of Swords, even though it's coming out upright, it's still, like, in an emotional sense, the most distant king of all the court cards. It's the most distant energy. It's that, like, unattainable, unreachable, beyond limits, or out of bounds, or whatever type of energy. And I feel like with the King of Pentacles, you seem to be much more willing to like invest to the relationship, invest to the other person, and be present in the connection. Actually wanting to build something, actually wanting to, have something stable, have something long term, have something truly meaningful. That's what I feel like. That's where I feel like you are with this King of Pentacles. Very steady, very loyal, very reliable. But the King of Swords, because this is an air element after all, and the King of Pentacles is an earth element, the air element is very unpredictable, very elusive, always moving, always wanting to, explore or change. And so I do feel like the first challenge, the first main challenge that you are leaving behind is attracting the wrong type of people, or attracting the people who are emotionally unavailable, who are not matching your energetic level, or who are not where you are. Maybe even if you seem to vibe at first, or if you seem to hit it off first, at one point it could be that you realize that your ultimate goal for the relationship, or ultimate wishes for the relationship, what you perceive as your desired future, it's completely different. And so that's sort of where things go sour, or that's where, you feel like it's not your person, it's not happening. So that seems to be the first challenge that I see for you here, the first main challenge that you are leaving behind. So hopefully that is good news. I hope that that's good news. But now looking at the second challenge, we have the Four of Cups reversed with the Devil reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed. Now, I'm going to address the more specific scenario first, and that is the one that I was talking about briefly before we laid these cards out. If you were in a relationship, and if you broke up with them, whether it was recently, which I'm feeling more strongly, or whether it was even a while ago, but if you are still sort of hung up on that person, if you are still carrying a torch for that person in some way, then I feel like the second challenge is you being able to release yourself from that person's influence, or that person's grip on you. Because the Four of Cups, especially with the devil, like both of those cards coming out like this, I don't actually like it. It's a rather yucky energy. Thank God that they are like in reverse, or, you know, because all of these cards are in reverse, it's telling me that that's not necessarily like an active energy anymore for you, or that's something that like happened in the past, but that may still have like sort of an effect on you in the present. But it seems like for a while there, even after that relationship ended for you, you were still like unavailable, or you were still emotionally sort of attached to that, like to that other person's energy. And because we have this Queen of Wands in reverse, and I'm feeling that that is the person that you broke up with. That is this ex energy. I feel like they weren't all that good for you. They weren't all that healthy for you, or the relationship wasn't that healthy. And so, yeah, there was just a lot of like attachment, a lot of jealousy, a lot of compulsive, controlling behavior that I'm feeling here. As I said, it's very yucky. I really don't like that energy. And so take it as it resonates though. Like if you did not have that type of experience with your ex, then this is not your message. But if you recognize that sort of very, very, very jealous and very much wanting to like possess you almost, or like have control over the relationship and have control over you, then yeah, this is the challenge that you seem to be like shaking off, which is really, really good, because the devil energy in a relationship is almost never good. Unless it's talking about sex. Unless it's talking about sex, the devil card is never good. But now moving back to the more sort of general scenario here, if you don't resonate with like breaking up with someone recently or still being hung up on your ex, then what I feel here is that the challenge that you are leaving behind, where I feel that this Queen of Wands reversed is talking about an aspect of you in that scenario, is this like feeling that you need something, or you need someone to like feel whole or to feel good about yourself. That seems to be falling away. And again, it does seem like even if you don't resonate with that ex story, it does feel like your confidence has massively taken a hit somewhere along the line or along the path. Especially with that Four of Cups in reverse as well. It's like being just like completely cut off and unresponsive to like other people, unwilling to open up to other people, unwilling to explore your options. It's just very closed off energy, very defensive energy, very distrusting energy, especially with the devil here as well. Very distrusting energy. And I feel like most likely these are like wounds of the past as well for you, or these are the effects of what you have gone through, what you have experienced in your past relationships, or just the journey that you have had so far when it comes to your romantic pursuits or love. So it seems that like insecure or not feeling that good about yourself, not feeling that secure about yourself, that sort of energy, that is the other challenge that you seem to be leaving behind, where you are feeling somewhat like dissatisfied with yourself, or unsure of yourself, or you know, feeling like there's something missing in you and in your life. So yeah, that's the other challenge that I feel like is going to be one that you are leaving behind. So you are actually leaving behind some pretty massive energies, some pretty massive challenges. And yeah, I hope that you are happy to hear that, because yeah, seriously, this looks very, very promising. But hopefully we'll see even more with these next oracle cards. So these are, sorry, not oracle cards, tarot cards. These next tarot cards are going to show us the potential opportunities that will arise from you working through these challenges or leaving these challenges behind. So let's see. What will you make space for? Okay, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, sorry, and the World. Oh, I love that. Okay, that's amazing. Let's keep going. And we have the Three of Pentacles. Wow, the Ace of Pentacles and the Magician. Okay, so let's get down to business. So the first three cards here. The first opportunity is we have the Knight of Swords reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, and the World. And what this is telling me is that the opportunity that will arise from sort of you leaving behind this challenge of like drawing to you people that are like not finding the sort of the same, the people in your wavelength, or like not really finding that common ground, or sort of drawing in very like unpredictable people, very like flaky people, or just people who are emotionally unavailable. Like with the World here, it almost feels like that's just what this is saying, is just that you will be able to like turn a new leaf. You will be able to close that chapter, close that cycle out, and leave that in the past. Because with the Knight of Swords reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed, this to me feels like exactly someone who just like either runs away from you, or who can't really deliver what they are promising, as this is like empty promises or empty potential, pretty much. Potential that has no real basis behind it. And so this is rather basic, rather simple, rather straightforward. You're just leaving that type of thing behind. These sorts of connections, these sort of like people or opportunities, especially if you have felt like lots of those types of people like sort of approaching you, then I feel like you just won't sort of feel that spark with them anymore, or you won't like initiate anything with them. You won't like take up on their offer, like that type of thing. I just feel like you're sort of making a clean break, or I feel like those sort of experiences, those people, those relationships, they have taught you so much. And I feel like the beauty or the value in them is that now you are able to recognize a bullshit story when you see one. Yeah, a story that is like very well told. Again, we have this air element coming through here, right? And the World card, yeah, again, just being able to leave it behind, being able to close that door. So I love seeing that. But I love this three card part here even more, because we have the Three of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles and the Magician. And what these three cards are telling me, especially regarding this like either you being hung up on someone, or you sort of losing confidence and sort of being more closed off. I feel like with the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, this is like you being able to open yourself up and actually build something with someone, like for real, not just having that sort of desire, but actually doing it. We have the Ace of Pentacles coming out upright, which is the real sort of tangible, the real physical thing, the thing that exists, the thing that you can see and touch, and like it's something tangible. It's like real proof. Whereas the Ace of Wands that is coming out in reverse, this is like a beautiful dream, but that's like that dream is never realized. That's what the Ace of Wands in reverse is. So this is you not engaging in empty promises, and this is you investing in situations that are actually reciprocating, or that that are actually going to lead somewhere, that are actually going to build something with someone. This is someone giving you that pentacle, right? Like we were talking about here with the King of Pentacles. I felt that this was you and you being willing to invest. And I feel like you working through that, like, either like somewhat closed off, shut down energy, or you working through that like attachment, residual attachment that you may still have for your previous partner. Again, however that scenario resonates for you, I feel like that is going to open up the opportunity for someone real to come in and actually, again, match your energy in that way. With the Magician being here, this is like you manifesting exactly what you have wanted. This is you creating magic. And you creating magic with someone who is very much on your wavelength. So this looks actually very, very promising. Again, especially if you have been sort of losing hope or losing faith in like in the future and ever finding that type of person for yourself. With these cards, it seems like the hope is still there, like the potential is still there, it can happen, but there needs to be either some residual attachments looked over, or some issues of like confidence and exposing those areas where you may be sort of keeping yourself off limits or keeping yourself closed off, right? So I really love that you are sort of becoming more selective towards who you like entertain and who you are willing to invest into. Again, with this Ace of Wands reversed, it really bugs me for some reason. I don't know why, but I really, really dislike it. I just feel like the how should I say, like you wasting your time on people that are not actually worth it, that are not on your level, right? Like that seems to be like such an important thing here. And I hope that you sort of see it too. But anyway, that's really the energy that I'm feeling here for you, pile 4. I'm sorry if this was a bit confusing at times, or if this like, you know, got a bit rambly or whatever. But again, Mercury retrograde is still very much in effect for me. I am struggling so hard with these messages. So thank you for your patience and thank you for your understanding. But anyway, let's close the reading out with some oracle cards. These 3 oracle cards are messages from Spirit, and they are going to be advice for you regarding your reading. So let's see. Okay, yeah, wow. Not surprised that we have this card coming out. We have yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining. We have fertility, potential, powerful creative energy, initiation energy. And we have telepathy. Oh my God, I love this. Non-verbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. Do you see what these cards are telling you? Do you see what is happening here? Because I do. I actually like, even with the Magician here, this felt like someone who is like finally sort of matching your vibration. Like that's the potential that you can have. But anyway, okay, so this yearning, right? So this is kind of like self-explanatory. We already talked about how you feel like you're missing something. And for some of you, this is a very specific person that you may be still sort of missing. And that's fine too. That's okay. If that's the place that you are in, that's okay. I'm sorry that I haven't like mentioned it earlier throughout this reading, but honestly, I am not criticizing, I'm not judging, and I hope that none of these messages came across that way. If they did, I'm really, really sorry. It's just sort of difficult at times to like not get caught up in the messages, and sometimes it's hard to realize how the messages may be coming across. But anyway, so I'm not criticizing, I'm not judging, regardless of where you are on your journey. That's where you're meant to be, and that's absolutely okay. So yeah, we already went over this yearning part, right? So that makes sense. But we also have this fertility and this telepathy. And I actually feel like those 2 cards are almost like going hand in hand. And I feel like what these are saying is that, that you actually have the potential, you actually have that power, that magician power, right? To like call in a person who shares that telepathic energetic bond with you. Who's on the same wavelength as you, as I was saying here with the Three of Pentacles, was willing to invest in you the way that you are willing to invest in the relationship. So that is a potential here. Like so if you are in that boat where you are like super worried that you are never going to get there, you are never going to find your person, that's not true, okay? And please try your best to not allow yourself to get stuck in that thought pattern, to not allow yourself to like lose hope, right? Even in here, these cards could be talking about your own mind space too, or your own sort of way of approaching it, right? That like losing hope, losing faith, losing, being very, very harsh with your thoughts, right? Being very like dismissive with your thoughts and just thinking that, okay, well, this is never going to happen for me. But the world, again, it's saying that you can actually end those thoughts. So yeah, this is, I feel like Spirit is kind of just like trying to calm you down and trying to reassure you that things are not as like doom and gloom as you may like think that they are in that like romantic sphere specifically. Like there is potential for you. Your future is by no means like bleak or empty or something like that. That's not the case here. And I feel like you actually have the power. You actually have the power. But I do feel like the key is in this portion here. Like that's the main challenge that needs to be addressed. Again, either your attachment to someone who wasn't on your wavelength, or these wounds, or these effects of like past experiences, past relationships that are still like getting to you and that are keeping you somehow in that like more dense, more low vibrational energy, where you're not feeling that good about yourself, where you're not feeling that confident about yourself, and that's like dragging your energy down. Okay? And so I feel like that's the main thing that needs to be addressed here. And when you do, it seems that you will be able to initiate something that is actually really, really amazing. But oh my goodness, I'm gonna leave it here, pile number 4. What a reading. Honestly, I'm kind of speechless because this feels so big, and I hope that that the messages spoke to you and that you got what you needed to get from this reading. I hope that the Mercury retrograde didn't, ruin this reading too much. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and please let me know how this reading resonated for you. You can give me a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment down in the comment section, and just let me know how this was for you. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and join my little feather tribe. Sorry, the cards are bugging me. Don't forget to join my little feather tribe if you want to see more of these readings from me. But other than that, any information that you need is in the description box down below. And yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, pile 4. And I am wishing you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.